Okay, I guess I'm live. Trying to set this thing up. Well, I don't have the fancy setup, but just testing this out. See how this thing work. I just started about maybe what 2 weeks now, trying to talk about track and field and just talk about updates and results and what's going on out there in the track and field world, just to kind of add to bringing awareness to track and field, because it's a sport that don't get the recognition and the coverage as other sports. It doesn't get it like basketball, football. Super Bowl just finished, millions of people watch that. Only time track and field getting the real recognition is World Championships and the Olympics, of course. But just giving it a test to see how it work. I don't have a lot of subscribers or anything like that, but I'll just do this live stream and see what's going on. But I promise to bring like track and field results, updates, and one of them I see here is talking about one of my homeboys, Olympic champion McLeod, withdraw from the Melrose Games. So I guess there's some kind of issue here. It's not showing me where the articles come from. Oh, it's track alerts. But it's saying here, Manhattan, New York, Olympic 110 hurdles champion Omar McLeod has withdrawn from the highly anticipated men's 60-meter hurdles dash at the New York Melrose Games, scheduled for this Saturday, April. I don't know where I get April. 8th of February, at the Armory in Washington Heights. Let me see what else it says here. If you see me looking down, I'm basically reading off my phone. The Jamaican hurl star, who was unfinished business with the American world champion Grant Holloway, withdrew from his season opener after picking up an injury. Boy, this injury thing can really put a damper to the start, but better, he's dealing with that now than right before the Olympics, which is very tough to combat, because by that time everybody's on the A game and sharp and ready. Any man's game at that point. So it's unfortunate. That's all it says here. So I hope he gets well. Omar McLeod, that's my homeboy from Jamaica, I represent. I've been to 2 Olympics myself. I may not look it now, but I'm older and hopefully wiser and better looking. And again, I'm just testing out this live stream just to see how it works, or if anybody will actually sign on. I don't really know how it works, but I'll just keep rambling on and hopefully give some info that people want to hear. So another update that I have here, and it's saying here from BBC Sport, Armand Duplantis set world pole vault world record in Poland. Wow. Let me see what he did here. It says, look, there's a little headline. Duplantis, who took silver at last year's World Championship, celebrate his record in Poland. European champion Armand Duplantis sets a pole vault world record at the World Athletic Indoor Tour meeting on Saturday, which is today. The USA-born Swede 20 cleared 6.17 meters at the second attempt in Toron, Poland, to beat Frenchman Renaud Lavillenie previous mark. So 6.17 meters, I believe that's converted to about, I think I worked it out already. It's 20 feet, 2 inches and some change, I guess. So that's pretty good. I guess that put Sergei Bubka, out, from the world record standings. Good. Just when you think world records can't be broken, they keep breaking records. When we think nobody could run under 9.90, Ben Johnson did it. Of course, Ben Johnson tested positive right then and there. That was 1988. I was there. I competed for Jamaica, and I was there watching the final when Ben Johnson broke 9.90. And so at that point, I had to contemplate, wow, my best time at the time ever was 10.16. And at the time, I was a college athlete still at Abilene Christian University. But the coaching to me there, the coach there was a pole vault coach. He was more of a field events, pole vault specifically. That's his specialty. And he had an assistant coach that also was more like a cross country guy. But the athletes that they recruited they were fortunate. It's a private university. They had lots of money and they could recruit fairly decent athletes that choose to go to a Division II school over a Division I because of the smaller setting. Abilene at the time was only like 5,000 students. Abilene Christian University, I should say. So, but we coached ourselves. If I had the specialized training on my fitness and my strength training and, good nutrition, sports psychologist to work with my mental toughness. We had trainers that could give you a massage. They didn't really do it. Not that I can remember. I don't remember getting a professional massage afterwards from the trainer. I mean, if you're sore, they might throw you in the whirlpool and dump a lot of ice in there, or give you some ultrasound. But I didn't get for what I did by myself from what I learned in Jamaica as a young athlete, from what the coaches taught me, and I kind of went with that. I learned a lot from my high school coaches, Patrick Roxborough, that coach there, Eric Stewart, Mr. Leiber, John Leiber, and definitely Jimmy Grant, who I ended up there at my junior years. He left, of course, went to Kingston College and went down to other things, working with in sports Jamaica. But he also ended up at GC Foster College in Jamaica, where during my last 2 years of my senior year, I pretty much went there and trained with him, with the senior guys that was at the collegiate level while I was a senior. And that helped me also in my preparation for the '84 Olympics as a high school boy, youngster, young man, back in those days from San Diego, when I was at San Diego High School. And that kind of got me more into specialized training, strength training. He did what he could as far as the coaching side. He didn't actually work in the gym with us on the weight training. We just kind of took what we learned from helping each other and back then what our coach could provide in expertise. The plyometrics was a big thing back then, to using your own body strength, resistance to develop strength and power, especially for us as sprinters. And so and overall conditioning as far as just being strong and ready. But these guys got a lot more specificity in their training, recovery time, supplements, all that good stuff. Supplements, you have to be careful nowadays, because back then what we thought was good, they might be now we're saying it's a stimulant that could maybe enhance performance, or you're using it to mask a drug. So they have a big list that you have to check on, with the IAAF and the IOC or whatever your organization for your particular country, sports organization. You make sure check with them. You better make sure your coach is on top of that and well managed if you're competing, and doing this as a professional, because they're not gonna be too kind to you. They're gonna assume that you're on top of your stuff. You can't say I didn't know. But this guy here in the pole vault, the Plantis, new world record, European champion, doing his thing. I kind of went off talking about some other things, of course, but he's doing his thing. But the Millrose Games is tonight, so if anybody know what's going on with that, can jump in and let me know what's what. Because I would like to see the Melrose games. I'm not watching it, of course, right now, but a little later I might go on the TV and see who's broadcasting live. I know like Flow Track or Track Alerts might carry clips. I wish I could show clips on this thing. I don't know how to do it. I don't think I'm at that level yet. So I'm just here in the room, talking about track and field results and so forth. Let me see what else I got here. No, this thing is blocking me. I'm trying to read this thing. Don't want any. Come on now. Well, some more track and field info here. Oh, my glasses need cleaning. 1 second while I clean my glasses. I'm kind of looking down to see if anybody has joined me in the chat room. Just me, lonely me. I'm not that famous yet on this YouTube thing here. But here it goes. And this is what? COAT Channel 7 Action News. Major track and field event heading to Albuquerque Convention Center. I don't know if Albuquerque is a major spot for track and field, but I know they have track clubs and so forth, colleges, University of New Mexico. They say Albuquerque here is getting ready to host some elite athletes. The Duke City is developing a reputation in the track and field world. Good. We need more of that. Like I said, I'm a big proponent for track and field. That's why I'm not talking too much about other sports. I might, if something interests me, I might mention it. I'm not, bad money in other sports, but track and field, whatever I can do to help promote it, I'm going to do it because it's just been on the back burner for too many years. They said this year is going to be a phenomenal indoor track season. It already has been. There's been a number of meets, but in the next month, we are going to host 2 high-profile events, said President and CEO of Visit Albuquerque, Tanya Armenta. So Albuquerque is gearing up to host a lot of elite track and field events, which is good. We need that in every state. The 2020 Toyota USA Track and Field Indoor Championships and the 2020 NCAA Division I Indoor Championships are headed to Albuquerque. All right. It's the high-profile nature of both events that actually makes that even more meaningful, Armenta said. Both events are returning to the city. Albuquerque hosted the USA Track and Field Indoor Championships for a number of years. Oh, my glasses keep falling off my face. Both events are returned to the city. Albuquerque hosted this, of course. They loved it so much, and now they are back, Armenta said. I guess this must be the kind of the person promoted and trying to bring it to Albuquerque, Armenta. My eyes here burning a little bit. Comes with age. Never used to wear glasses, now I wear glasses. The NCAA Division I championships were held in Albuquerque in 2014. City leaders said these 2 events will bring over $1.5 million into the state through hotels, food, activities, and of course, the events themselves. Nice. And, track and field can bring money in just like football, just like baseball, just like basketball, just like golf, just like tennis, or any other sports that they try to promote. Soccer, which in Jamaica we call football. It's his flag. I live here in the United States, but hey, I'm still Jamaican down to the bone. They say many of them will be in the Olympics later this year or this summer. That's the caliber athlete that will be here, Armenta says. They hope after the events end that people will remember the land of enchantment, which is New Mexico. We are on the map. Broadcast coverage for these events and other opportunity of a lot of media coverage. that a lot of people are going to be thinking about. Hey, and I hadn't thought about Albuquerque, our mentor said. City leaders said these two events will be the biggest sporting events held in the city so far in 2020. The USA Track and Field Indoor Championships on February 14th to the 15th. The NCAA Indoor Championships are on March 13th to 14th. So big things are going on. So Albuquerque gonna be doing their thing. I know like in the Penn Relays, they do it every year. I mean, Penn Relays is like the the preview to what you expect for like a World Championships the following year. To me, it's like a mini Olympics, but it involves up and coming stars, all the high school prospects, the up and coming college athletes that are about to possibly go pro. Which team is gonna do it up for NCAA Division One, Division Two, Division Three? The top-notch professional runners will perform in special invitational events, 400 hurdles, 4x4, 4x1, 100 meters, all that kind of stuff. Who has the best relay teams? I've been there for many years as an high school athlete and as a college athlete too. I know I see the youngsters doing their thing up. Again, this is my track and field corner. This is Grego, 1984 Olympic silver medalist. Hey, you can't tell by looking at me right now. I've got some weight, big belly. I don't know if you can say belly big, but hey, I didn't work out this week, so I'm going to try and get back into it. Because I'm a little older and I'm not competing for anything doesn't mean I can't stay in shape. You know what I mean? I just got out the military. I went and gave military time. So spent 20 years in the military. Active, reserve, inactive time. Even though I didn't plan to, but I competed all army track, tried to stay in shape and all that with all army track, trying to put, some of my competitive edge to the army, help them win a championship back in the day in 1986. Because I didn't get to go professional. I wish I could have went professional. I got burnt out in college. Weekend after weekend, you got to maintain your grades for eligibility, as well as trying to find time to perform. And sometimes it was tiring. And then, being that, I'm in a different country, trying to adjust to college life as a young man coming to college. Took me a minute, but finally got it. Helped Abilene Christian to 3 Division II championships. One, my first year I got injured. So I didn't really get to do much, but I was still a member, encouraging my teammates. Abilene Christian University Wildcats. I hadn't been there for years. I understand how it's grown. I'm just sitting here shooting the breeze. And one of these days, hopefully, can have a discussion. I don't even know if the discussion work. If people talk to me and I can hear them or see them, or I'm not sure how this works. Or if all I got is just the streaming. It'd be nice to have other people be able to discuss. When it was Google Plus, I like that because I'm kind of sorry they discontinued Google Plus. Because you could share documents and info and I think video too. If I wanted to show a video clip, I think no, for me to do more than this, I would have to buy a software and probably pre-record it. But I guess I don't really need nothing fancy. Just give me a chance to do something productive with my life. I signed up for YouTube when it first came out. It's much more effective and efficient now and professional. It has propelled a lot of people onto larger than life platforms, making a difference. Whether they do it as a hobby or making money. If I make money with this, I won't cry. I would love to get to the subscribership, the 1,000. I don't know how I'll get 1,000, but hopefully people like the realness of what I'm doing. They will subscribe, especially to my track and field fans. Make sure subscribe, give me a like if you like that I'm out here talking about track and field, not just showing your videos. So Anyway, this is just kind of like a test run for me, you know. Melrose Games is tonight. Brianna Williams is going to be competing. Let me see who else. I think I had some information on that. Bear with me one second here. I'll see if I find it. I want to find out if it covered who and who was going to compete. That's not what I want to see. You know, so this is about Brianna Williams. Because, you know, they always have major athletes ready to perform. It didn't, I thought this thing saved all the information that I wanted to talk about. It didn't. Talk about the Plantis. Oh, they got something about the high schoolers in Jamaica. I think this happened a little bit back. This was March 3rd, first week of February. But you know, I'm from Jamaica, and the high schoolers, they're doing a lot. I mean, those guys are almost like college athletes at the high school level as far as their skill level. This is Clayton Everett Stamp class on 100 meter at Youngsters Goldsmith Classic. Mikali Everett and Tina Clayton stamped their class on the 100 meter at Saturday's Puma Grace Youngsters Goldsmith Classic at the National Stadium in Kingston. Jamaica College, Everett topped the Class 1 boys 100 meter in a meet record of 10.49, beating the previous of 10.52. This is Class 1, like, you know, 17-year-old, 18-year-old boys. And this is in February 3rd that this thing took place at. Kingston College, Wayne Pinnock, who was second to Everett in 10.55, left his mark in the 110 hurdles. Pinnock stopped the clock in 13.09 seconds in the heats of the Class 1 boys. The 110 meter hurdles, he beat his previous record of 13.46 set in 2019. He, along with Vashan Vizcana, who ran 13.79 to win the heat, skipped the final. Edwin Allen's Tina Clayton ran a record 11.62 to beat her teammate Brandy Hall 2019 mark of 11.71. That's Tina's twin sister, Tia, who won her heat, was second overall in 11.79 seconds. These are these young ladies. I saw them last year, man. From Edwin Allen. They have the coach there is doing an excellent job with his coaching and the sprint program. I guess they are now the sprint factory. Back in my day, Camperdown was kind of known as Sprint Factory. You know, Calabar, Kingston College, St. Jacob, my high school, we're always in, if it was not the top 10, at least top 5. You know, when I was there, we were kind of like top 5, but never won the championships until after I left. And the Youngsters, Jamaica was able to bring in more coaching expertise. Not Jamaica, but San Diego, I should say. Bringing more coaching expertise and brought the Youngsters up where they actually end up winning the championships. I think, I want to say they had you and Blake and some of the youngsters. Half of them I don't know now. I hadn't been home like I wanted to. I wanted to go back to Jamaica and contribute. I really hadn't done much besides just following what's going on at a distance and, you know, just doing my business here in the States, trying to make it. I've given more contribution here to the military side, where before I got out the last couple of years in late 2016, I was helping youngsters recruit, you know, young recruits, especially from the Air Force side, helping them with their physical fitness training, you know, military discipline and customs and courtesies to kind of help them prepare for military training, to help them be successful. And a big part of it is fitness. So I got to utilize a little bit of my coaching expertise and skill. You know, I went to Michigan State University and got my master's in sports administration, worked as a graduate assistant, and coach track and field, worked with the sprinters. I actually was competing with the guys at the same time because I was still trying to, you know, stay in shape for the national teams of Jamaica and all that. But, you know, I had the ups and downs, you know, if you're not sponsored or can get into the big meets where you can get a little money, it's hard, you know. Otherwise, you have to still hold on a job somehow. And when you're trying to live and train at the same time, it's a big challenge without the sponsorship. That's a whole nother story we can talk about. But anyway, I don't see no one sign on here, but hopefully, we can get more people involved and I can keep testing this live stream to see how it works. Hopefully, y'all can hear me because it look close on the computer screen here, but I don't have one of them fancy mic. I might need to buy one. Hopefully, the voice is not too weak. And but that's that. I'm gonna try and follow up to find out what the results are for the Melrose games. That's gonna start later. And hope y'all enjoy this. If y'all like and have any suggestion, I want to talk about maybe some training programs, like how to prepare for track and field, like how I prepared back in the day. I can't find my old training journal that I used to use when I was coaching myself, basically, when I worked with my coach Jimmy Grant. But I still remember I went and I'm certified USA track and field level 1 certified. So I still think I have a little bit can offer. Maybe have some materials to kind of go over and see what y'all think about that. Maybe I can help someone out there. But anything I give here as far as when I start talking about training and nutrition, or anything that you want to try in your own training, especially your youngsters, maybe from high school or freshmen in college trying to make the team, I'll try give what I can to help. But always consult with your doctor. You talk with your coach. I'm not really a nutritionist, but if I suggest something like Carry Info from a health trusted website and you want to follow it, always check with your doctor, your coach, your nutritionist, make sure you're cleared, because that's something I want to start getting into also, as well as talking about track and field updates and results. And 2020, the Olympics, only thing I'm concerned about is this coronavirus, to make sure this thing don't really mess up their plans. They already canceled the indoor world championships, as far as I know, unless something changed. If anything changed, somebody let me know. Trying to push it back to next year because it's supposed to be in China. And I don't know if I'd want to take that chance, because until somebody tell me there's a cure, not that I want to catch it and have to be cured, this coronavirus thing. But anyway, I'm gonna push on. I wanted to test this with other folks, see how this thing works. But until next time, I'll keep doing what I can do, and who want to watch, like, subscribe. Let's help each other out or whatever. Give me some suggestion on what y'all want to talk about, training, or to be a better sprinter, conditioning program for track and field, or strength training, nutrition, whatever it is. I'll try my best to help and go from there. But definitely, I'm going to talk about track and field results as I get the info. Some might be a little old, but I'm going to still bring it to kind of let people know there's track and field going on right now, not just basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, one love, people. Till next time, this Gregor Olympian, you're 90-time Olympian. All right? So, take it easy.